Coming up on Mountain News this morning, shelters open in southern Kentucky as crews work to restore power in the region. And folks in Harlan County fared a little better. We will have winter coverage storm coming up.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Welcome to Mountain News this morning. I'm McKinley Calandrino here with you on this Tuesday, January 27th. The time is now 6:27. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, this weather really has me dreaming of summertime and a good book in my hand and sunshine.
And like a nice beach vacation,
Yes,
maybe.
yes.
Yeah.
Something warm and tropical.
Something warm and tropical that when I have like a soda, it's not like I wish it was warm because I need to break. But anyways, I'm getting on a tangent. It's cold outside. That's basically what you can expect as you're heading out the door. Here's a look at that cold weather advisory and extreme cold warning. Yeah, you heard that right. Extreme cold warning. We don't get that issued very often here in eastern Kentucky, but for those in the blue counties, that's what you can expect today, with temperatures in a mixture of the single digits, but the wind chill will make it feel like the negatives for many folks. -7 degree feels like in Jackson and Hazard and Williamsburg. -18 degree feels like temperatures in Wise. So bundle up, wear those layers, you're going to need it. And even as you head into the afternoon, you'll want to keep that on as we only make it into the upper 20s and low 30s with wind chill this afternoon, feeling like the upper teens and low 20s. So again, cold all day long, wear your layers. And in terms of what we're seeing on satellite and radar, nice and clear, and we'll stay dry throughout the first half of your day. But as we head into the late evening hours, we do have a chance of some flurries and snow that will pick back up. That'll start around 8 o'clock for our more northern counties and continue overnight. McKinley.
Thank you, Megan. In Claiborne County, Tennessee, a crash caused by black ice resulted in the death of an 8-year-old. Tennessee Highway Patrol troopers say it happened last Thursday when an SUV was heading north on State Route 63 and ended up hitting black ice and sliding off the road before hitting a mailbox and then a rock embankment. 3 others were injured in the crash, including the driver. 62-year-old Herman Vandergriff. THP says charges are pending against Vandergriff and another passenger, Rose Dixon. Somerset fire crews responded to a structure fire overnight. It happened at a home on Oak Meadow Drive. Firefighters say they found smoke going into a garage and discovered the kitchen stove and overhead cabinets were on fire. Crews with the Somerset Fire Department made a quick knockdown and were able to extinguish the flames. The homeowner told the firefighters that flames from unattended candles spread and got out of control. No injuries were reported. A man was trying to keep his loved ones warm Sunday night when a fire broke out. Flames quickly destroyed their home. As Andrew Colgrove reports, the man said it started while he was trying to change propane tanks.
A man was keeping his 3-year-old and 1-year-old grandchildren at this home over the weekend because they felt with the winter weather, if the power went out, it would be safer here. Now he says he just feels grateful they're alive.
3 adults lived here. Michael Maynard, his girlfriend, and brother. This is along US 23 in Lman'sville, near the Lawrence-Johnson County line. Maynard says Sunday night their heat stopped working. He and his brother went outside to change propane tanks. Maynard says he was using pliers to loosen the regulator when flames started shooting out of the tank and spread to the home. They tried to put the flames out themselves before firefighters arrived, but the fire spread too quickly. Everybody got out safely. Here's Maynard describing how it started.
We went out there and it had probably about that much ice on top of the tank, and we took the pliers and pecked down on it, tried to bust it loose, and when we twisted that fit and hit spark somehow, and those flames, and he moved the line, and it seemed like the more you moved that line, the bigger the flames got.
The people who live here say the Red Cross is helping them out, providing food and clothing for them, and they are staying with a relative until they figure out where to go from here. Andrew Colgrove, WSAZ, Lman'sville.
The people who lived there went back to see if there was anything salvageable, but say just about everything is a loss. And a longtime constable in Whitley County has died. Lonnie Lee Foley died on Saturday. He was a constable for more than 30 years. He also served as a security officer for the Whitley County Board of Education for more than 40 years. His visitation will be on Thursday at noon at the New Zion Baptist Church in Williamsburg. His funeral will follow at 3. And Lonnie Lee Foley was 75. With the snow finally making its way out of the region, emergency officials say there could be a false confidence that the winter worries are over. Pike County Emergency Management Director Nee Jackson says the county did not have any major concerns as of Monday, with electricity reconnected for the hundreds of families who lost power during the weekend storm. But he says the biggest concern moving forward is the temperature dropping. So Jackson encouraged people to stay home when possible and keep an eye on their neighbors.
We're now looking at not only the precipitation side of it, but we're also looking at dealing with all of the cold.
Officials say it is crucial to stay warm, limit time outdoors, and make sure all heating devices are properly installed and working. There are still many homes in southern Kentucky without electricity. About 5,000 customers remain without power in Pulaski County alone. A shelter was set up Sunday morning at the Center for Rural Development. Around a dozen people have come and go since. Officials say the shelter allows people to charge their phones while staying safe, warm, and well fed during dropping temperatures.
But right now we're just having a lot of status checks, checking on people. We have a lot of homes without electric and a lot of elderly.
There are shelters at Ferguson's New Life Church and at fire departments in Nancy, Mount Victory, Burnside, and Science Hill. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says if you need a ride to one of the shelters, reach out to the Emergency Operations Center. We also have a list of warming shelters across the region on our website and news app. Harlan County is still seeing plenty of snow and ice. Neely Green talked to Judge Executive Dan Mosley, and he says the switch back and forth between rain, sleet, and snow has caused more issues.
The side roads are still a mess. It's just everything froze over, and it's a mess.
On top of the snow and sleet, parts of Harlan County received up to 2 inches of rain, even causing issues on roadways.
Up there on 421, and I think it took about a truckload of material of some rock and debris that had fallen on that road.
Mudslides aren't the only hazard on the roadways. Ice overnight became too slick for their own road crews as one driver was involved in a crash as he was working to clear a road.
He hit ice and his tires slid over off the road onto the hill, and it caused the vehicle to overturn, but it came back to rest upright on its wheels.
Mosley says the driver is in good shape, but reminds people that ice can make the roadways change quickly.
Folks, take heed to that and understand that it is that dangerous. If these folks that are trained, that are equipped to handle conditions like this are having this much trouble on ice, certainly the rest of us are going to have problems as well.
If you do have to travel, there are some practices to put into place to ensure you make it safely to your destination.
Just make sure that you leave space in between the vehicle in front of you, that you allow extra travel time to reach your destination. That's critical to where you're not in a big hurry to get somewhere.
Mosley says if you do not need to leave and you don't feel comfortable driving on the roads, there are first responders on duty, and you can reach out to their dispatch and they will assist you as much as they can. Mosley says Harlan County has been very fortunate during this event and they have not seen any power outages. Folks in Harlan County have also not seen any water issues, but Judge Executive Dan Mosley says the creeks were actually causing some to worry Sunday after heavy rain in that area.
The creeks had exceeded their banks, with what you would call just ditches, basically ditches overflowing, where culverts were stopped up.
And Mosley says that they will continue to monitor those creeks and culverts as well as the road conditions. And you might be tempted to crank up the heat this week, but LG&E is asking families to try to conserve energy as best as you can. The utility company says with these cold temperatures, heating systems are working overtime and putting a strain on the electric grid. Simple things can help, like turning off lights and appliances, lowering your thermostat, and limiting uses of your dishwasher, washer, and dryer. LG&E did not say how long customers would need to reduce their intake. And one of the biggest dangers during severe cold is frostbite. Doctors say every precaution must be taken to ensure you are fully protected from the cold. Frostbite occurs when skin is exposed to cold temperatures for too long. It starts out as just a numb feeling, which doctors say can deceive people into thinking they aren't in really any danger. However, if you are still exposed for a long period of time, you can lose circulation. Doctors say if you have to go outside, protect every part of your body.
Definitely you want to prepare yourself by having, heavy gloves to cover your hands. You want to have something to cover your head. Definitely make sure your ears are covered. And if you're having a tremendous amount of exposure to wind, or if there's a lot of wind, you want to make sure your face is covered adequately as well with a scarf and or hat that can cover partially your face as well.
He says if you have to be outside, try to take breaks throughout your time to warm yourself up. And officials with the Kentucky Emergency Management have some tips for folks if they happen to be sitting still on the roadway. If you find yourself stuck in a storm, they say to call 911 immediately. They also say to run your engine in your car to up to 10 minutes per hour to maintain heat and charge your cell phone. And to ensure proper ventilation, open your window slightly to allow fresh air circulation. In Bullitt County, their school system, like a lot of others in Kentucky, were out for a snow day. But some high schoolers layered up, grabbed a shovel, and went to work to clear driveways. The seniors are football players for Bullitt East High School, and they've been doing this every winter since freshman year. The community even donated shovels to help them with the work. Yesterday morning, they got started at about 7 a.m. For one young man, it was all about making a difference.
And sitting home comfortable just isn't in our DNA. If it's not uncomfortable, it's not worth it. Anything that's worth anything is hard to do. And sitting at home and playing video games at all is really easy, which in turn means it's not worth anything. So if we can come out here and, make something, of our lives, then, we're gonna do that every single chance we get.
The team offered to dig out driveways for a little bit of money, accepting whatever the people can give. The teens plan to put that money into high-yield savings accounts to help with finances as they head off to college. A rock legend is coming to Pikeville. Alice Cooper is bringing his Alice Attic tour to the Appalachian Wireless Arena on April 24th. Tickets range from $42 to $50 to $125. They say they go on sale Friday at the Community Trust Bank box office or Ticketmaster.com.
And we're still looking nice and dry as we're heading out the door. No active precipitation falling this morning, but as we head into the late evening hours, we're going to start to see some flurries. We're returning to eastern Kentucky. Now, the main thing that you need to watch out for not only are icy roads, but cold temperatures as we sit in the low to mid single digits for most, with feels like temperatures even colder in the negatives for some. But in terms of what we can expect for the highs, we'll see some upper 20s and low 30s, mostly staying below freezing all day long, with feels like temperatures in the upper teens and low 20s. So again, it's going to feel cold all day long. You'll need those layers this morning, and you'll definitely need them as we're heading into the afternoon. McKinley.
All right, thank you, Megan. And thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41, and still to come on Mountain News this morning. Instagram and TikTok are helping to sell hotels, resorts, and destinations around the world. We have the difference social media can make in bookings.